Welcome back. My name is Caleb Oliver and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But before we start, just comment the word down below rich because that is the topic for today's video. Alright, let's get started. Think and Grow Rich is a valuable book and I did enjoy it. However, I must admit, it can be a bit confusing at times and overwhelming just based on the content and what's inside of it. One reason this is true is because it is designed to be used as a textbook. As I reread the intro, the author did state, use this book as a textbook. He pretty much said that you might not get everything the first time around, and that's why he also suggested reread this book once a month for 12 months so that you'll fully be able to put all the ideas in this book into practice. Also, there are a few ideas in this book that are a bit strange the first time you hear them. But I don't say that to discourage you, I just want to let you know before you actually read this book. Number one here is strong desire. They say in this book that the starting point of all achievement is desire. You must have a strong, burning, white-hot desire in order for you to achieve something, according to this book. When you have desire paired with a plan, then you can achieve your goals and you can get whatever it is that you desire, according to this story. Now, the author tells a story of parents who had a child who was born deaf. But not only was he born deaf, he internally, inside of his ear, where all that inner ear structure should be, he had none of it. So he wasn't just deaf. It wasn't like he could just put a regular hearing aid in and hear. He was completely deaf. So to the doctors and everybody else, this seemed like a very down thing. However, the father had a strong desire for his son to hear, so he implanted that in his son. To kind of just shorten the story here, he worked with his son a lot. He made sure he didn't even teach his son sign language because he was so determined, you are going to hear and I'm going to make sure that you hear. As his dad had this strong desire and a definite plan to keep working, and they did so much that overall he was able to hear. And he astonished doctors and he astonished his mom, and they couldn't believe it. The only one who couldn't believe it was his dad, because his dad kept that strong burning desire backed by a plan. So as I heard that part of the story, I said to myself, oh my goodness, like this is powerful stuff. If you just believe something can happen and you put a plan with it, it will actually happen. If you want to read this section of the book, it is the section entitled Desire Outwits Mother Nature. That way you can read this story and get an accurate example of what happened and not just me rambling from reading the book a few weeks ago. Let's move on. Now we have number two. Number two here is you need a mastermind group. This is broken down into two separate groups, but the general idea is you need a solid group of people around you that will help you meet your goals, specifically your financial goals. So the first part here is you need to make a friendly alliance with one or more people who will support you to follow through on your plan and your purpose. These people help you succeed. So this can be a friend who you speak business with, or this can be your spouse, or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever. Somebody who's right there with you, encouraging you on a frequent basis. That way you will reach your goal. It could also be a bigger group, maybe 5 or 6 people, but however many people you can get. The second group of people is specifically the people that you work with, like literally work with, to meet your financial goals. If you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, this would be your employees, because the example that they give in the book here is Carnegie. He did not know much about the steel business, but he had a group of about 50 people who had specialized knowledge, and because of this group was able to help him succeed financially, because collectively they were able to know everything about the business that they were in. So it is so important for you to surround yourself with people who are interested in your success. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say if you're getting any value out of this video, just click the like button down below. Also, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll be notified the moment I post the next video. And just comment the word down below, rich, because that is the topic for today. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Doing these things helps support my channel, and it helps my content get pushed to a larger audience. And for doing this, I say thank you. Number 3 here is autosuggestion. So in the book, the author speaks about autosuggestion, and what that pretty much is it is the way that you influence the subconscious mind. And you do this by suggesting positive ideas to yourself so it will reach the subconscious mind. But it is so important that you emotionalize words with belief. He says this because if you just say words to yourself but you don't believe it, it will not fully reach your subconscious and it won't actually happen. So don't lie to yourself about, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire. Say it, believe it, and actually feel it. Then it can reach your subconscious mind, and then it can actually happen according to this book. And in the book it mentions you can have the object of your desire by communicating it to your subconscious mind. So it's so important that you basically just tell yourself things that you believe so that way they'll happen, but it has to get deep enough so it's in your subconscious so it happens, whether that's wanting to become a millionaire or lose weight or be successful in your relationship. It has to go to your subconscious and then it could work. The 4th idea to focus on here from this book is riches, not wishes. The author says that riches do not respond to wishes, but rather riches respond to definite plans backed by definite desires through constant persistence. So you must follow this formula in order to get rich or wealthy. You can't just wish for it, you gotta have a plan. So the way to develop the persistence that you will need to actually attain wealth is the 4 steps that I'll mention here. The first step, he said, is you need a definite purpose backed by burning desire for its fulfillment. The second thing he says is you need a definite plan expressed by continuous action. So you must always be working toward that goal. The third thing he mentions here is you need to close your mind to all negativity and negative influences. Shut that out and shut it off because it will not help you. Even if these people are your friends, your family, your co-workers, you must shut it out so you can actually reach your goal. You need a friendly alliance with one or more person who will encourage you to follow through with the plan and purpose that you have. And the overall thing, to sum this up, is you need to be definite and intentional in order to get success in your life. So keep that in mind as you're on your journey to wealth. And the 5th idea I'll mention here is like the weirdest idea that I heard in the book. When I heard this, I was listening to it, I was like, what? And this is something that I had to go back and listen to the chapter. Number 5 is called sex transmutation. So what he's saying in this idea is you need to use sex energy to be creative and become a creative genius. Now, he mentions in the book, he goes into this a little bit deep into the book. So if you want to learn about that, that's toward the end of the book. But he says that sex is not just a physical action, but it's about using that same energy you feel and doing something great with it. He then goes on to say that many successful leaders have been found to have highly developed sex natures, which is good for sex transmutation. And before we go on, I just want to give you a formal definition of what sex transmutation is. It is the redirecting of the mind from thoughts of physical expressions to thoughts of another creative effort. In the example of the book, we're talking about creating wealth. I just wanted to give that example because sometimes we get caught up in words.
Transmutation, what the heck does that mean?
Well, transmutation means the action of changing or state of being changed into another form. So you take this sex energy and then you put it toward making money. That's putting it in basic terms so we're all on the same page here. With this example, the author also mentions that many of the successful people who use sex transmutation, they were motivated by a woman. That doesn't mean that that was their partner or anything, but they basically took the desire that they had for that woman and they were inspired to go out and do great things. So the overall goal to get from this sex transmutation idea is take that sexual energy that you have and then put it toward your skills and your plans to actually build wealth. At first this sounds like what the heck, but after reading it a few times and reading through the definitions, it made sense. I really hope this made sense to you. Comment down below if this is actually making sense, or is it just like, what is he saying? Is he speaking another language? What the heck is Caleb doing? Like, oh my gosh. And I'll just give you one other quick bonus thing that I got from this book. This was another weird one and I had to reread it. Basically, the author said that he would have imaginary council meetings in his mind. So basically, before he went to sleep, he would imagine some of the great figures that he idolized. And this included Thomas Edison, Charles Darwin, Abraham Lincoln, Henry Ford, and Andrew Carnegie. And he would basically, in his mind, before going to sleep, he would have a meeting with these people and like ask each person specific questions in order to help him in his life with his success. And in his mind, each person had their own personality, their own behaviors, and their own traits. But overall, it was interesting because it worked for him. The author even mentioned that having these meetings with these figures in his head even helped him out of several emergencies in his life, help him out of emergencies and serious situations that he had in his life. But his main thing was, through doing this, you gain knowledge through the sixth sense. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just click the link down below. There is a link to this book down below through Audible. You can sign up, listen to this book, listen to it a few times, I recommend, because otherwise you may be lost and confused. So, that brings us to the end of this video. I just want to say before you click out, just click the like button down below if you got any value out of this video. Also, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell. That way you'll be notified the moment I post my next video. And we're going to do a question of the day here. So if you could, just answer the question down below. Are you going to read Think and Grow Rich? And if you have already read the book, what do you think about it? What are your opinions? Did you like it? Did you find it confusing? Let's just start a little conversation down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. He was a vet? Okay, I got it. You could double check me because I read this book a while. I don't want to come on here and start lying. You need a friendly alliance with one or more purple. Oh my goodness. So don't be lost in... just cut it out. Well,